What's up, Dragon Brood? Now, when we start talking about apps for phones, there's so many, so many. And anybody who's had a mobile device for more than 10 minutes, you'll realize that there's a ton for every single thing. And Magic's no different. We have a lot now, a whole lot. And admittedly, even when I give you this list of apps, there's going to be stuff that people like or don't like about each one, and they may still choose something that's not these. But I did do a bunch of research, being polls. I asked people on Twitter, I talked to some friends, asked some people in a couple different message groups I'm in, and then just got, okay, what are the ones that people are using the most? So this is going to be a combination of things I've discovered through these apps, as well as kind of what the general populace of Magic says are some of the most popular ones they use. So hopefully this helps you. And I also want this to be known that this is not just for new players. I've met a lot of people who are sometimes just looking for like an app that does X, and maybe this will help those people out, because sometimes you just don't know if you don't know. But anyway, let's roll the intro and get to it. Okay, now the first one, which is kind of obvious, we're going to start with is Magic: The Gathering Arena Mobile. And honestly, MTGA is great. I mean, now the game does have its flaws and whatever, and we all know this, but if you want to engage with Magic on a mobile device that's actually playing Magic, well, you really only have Magic Arena as your true option, especially if you want to be able to find opponents all times of day, people all over the world. Like, you can't really do that easily with any other app of any kind. But I will say the cool thing for me about using MTG Arena Mobile is that everything you do on your handheld is actually portable to your desktop. So this means that sometimes I just get a deck idea while I'm sitting on the couch watching a movie. I can pop open Arena on my phone, go ahead and put the first parts of that deck list. Then when I hop over to my PC, I can just finish it off after I'm looking up cards and everything else. So that's actually really cool. I like that feature of it. Everything else, it actually works surprisingly well it's not even a full year old yet, I don't think. So it's one of those things where we all kind of look at it and thought, this isn't really going to work, because Magic battlefields take up a lot of space, but it turns out they actually found a way to do it, and it's pretty clean. So I don't really have a major complaint about it. And honestly, this one's kind of the easy number one just because it's Magic on your phone. Can't really ask for much else. Now the number two on my list is also a Wizard of the Coast thing, but it's the Magic: The Gathering Companion app. And this mostly matters if you're somebody who's going to be attending events, whether that be pre-releases or FNMs or whatever. FNMs are Friday Night Magic, by the way, for those of you that are new. If you're going to be going to your local store or an event or Grand Prix or whatever, I'm pretty sure this is what we're going to be using for the future. Now, the best part about the Companion app is that it ties into the new Wizard of the Coast tournament software. This means that you get everything from push notifications, tons of stuff actually handed down in this. Like, you can sign up for events directly on your phone, which is awesome. You can even track your play because it comes with a built-in life counter. It lets you track your results through events. And like I said, again, the push notifications are such a big thing, because if you've ever been wandering a tournament hall looking for the start time of an event, or waiting and not wanting to get too far outside, or maybe you're enjoying a smoke break or something, well, now it's going to come right to your phone, which is fantastic. It also has the features that let you run your own event. So basically, if you bought that booster box and you and your friends wanted to booster draft, this will let you set it up for you and your friends to do your own little 8-person event, and you can do it right there from your phone, track everything. It does all the pairings, everything you need it to do. It's actually a pretty good event app, honestly. So if you're really into more organized play, whether that be with your friends or whether it be an official event, this is probably the tool you're going to want to have for the job. Now the next one up is one that I've used for several years myself on my phone because it's simple, it doesn't take up much space. It's the MTG Tracker app. And I think now it goes by MTG Tracker Free, but honestly, it's a really nice, what I would call all-in-one app. It's not real flashy. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It's not trying to do too much. The presentation and UI is clean and simple. But that's all you really need on something you just want in a pinch at your game table. As you can see here, you can use it as a life counter, life tracker when you're playing your games. As a matter of fact, it goes up to 4 people, so if you want to use it for a commander game. You can also put your decks into it if you want to track your deck list, and even see how your decks are doing when you do the results from your games. It matches up with your life tracker, so you know if you've won or lost those, you can keep track of your win-loss records. It also lets you look up cards, which is really nice and handy. You can even has a feature where if you want to match up stuff for trades, you can figure out what's of reasonable value, one way or the other, foils or not. And actually is really good just if you just have no knowledge of what it is you're trading or what stuff's going for. You could pop it in there really quick and try it out. Even has some simple features just like a coin flip or a die roll if you want to just figure out who goes first. So this really handles a lot of simple tasks for you. Well, not just at your game, I was going to say at the game table, but also when you're just hanging out after a game. Now, next up on my list is Delver Lens. It's an app that does a lot of things. I'll tell you up front. It does a bunch of extra stuff as far as letting you search for cards, tracking deck results. Even has some like features that let you just see like the showcase cards and stuff from a set. But really what people are using it for is a quick way to scan their cards in their collection. And that's the real selling point here on this app. It has the ability to scan your cards, which is huge because it has a software that recognizes the cards just by hovering your phone over it. And this is fantastic because you don't have to know anything about your collection, know if it's a rare card or not or whatever. It handles all of that for you. And then the best part is it puts it into an organized database. So if you need to know what you have and how much, or even if you have things available for trade or whatever, it's now in a nice organized list. And it's completely sortable and everything else. And then if you would like to sell those or buy more of them, like it can handle that for you too and direct you to a website where that's available. Those are all three very big uses, and that's mostly what people are using this app for. There's other things that kind of handle those other functions, so I wouldn't necessarily highlight those others as being the biggest features of this app. Those three things are what people are looking to do the most with it. And honestly, it seems to be the app of choice by far because of its recognition feature. Now, I will say that the apps I've covered already kind of check all the boxes and do everything you need to do. However, there is another one I want to bring up that got a lot of recognition whenever I ask people, and that's MTG Familiar. Seems to be the same in a lot of ways as MTG Tracker, just with a different presentation and UI, but it is the most known among newer apps as well for people to be able to do all those same things, whether you're talking about tracking life totals, searching for cards, setting up trades, things like that. It's doing a lot of the same things. But hey, I say check it out. And if it's something you're into or you like the look of it, then go with that for sure. I'm just including it because it's another option that's really good and it is really popular. It was something I had several people mention in several different sources when I was doing the polling. So I would definitely look into this one as well if you're just looking for that option to be a good all-around and all-inclusive app. And then lastly, there's one I want to give an honorable mention to, and that's Manabox. It also does a lot of these same things the other apps do, but the things I found about it that I really liked are that it actually includes multiple languages. So whether you're talking about just having card searchability in different languages, or even having different currencies if that's necessary. Maybe you're doing an international trade and maybe you want to make sure everything's fair. And it has a news feed in it, which is kind of nice because the other apps don't necessarily include that either. So this is another one that if you have the needs that this app can take care of, go ahead and check this one out too. This was probably the next most popular among the ones that I asked people about. And I think it's worth mentioning because of that multi-language, multicultural function. But that's it. There you go. I think if you're new to Magic, or even if you already play Magic, those are all the apps you should need on your device for any reason whatsoever. And honestly, a couple of those are kind of, do you want one over the other? But if you have this package of apps, you should be able to cover everything you would need possible while you're either going to an event, checking out trades at home, or just interested in deck building. You should be able to do all of those from those apps, and this should cover you. And they don't cost you anything. That's the best part of it. You can go and download these right now if you want to. And they seem to all be available on iOS and Android, so it shouldn't even matter what type of phone you have. As always, if you like this information, let me know down in the comments, or if you hate it, or if there's something else you want to know a top 5 of or whatever in Magic, I'd be curious in that too. We could knock out a video for that. And most importantly, if you haven't, please remember to like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because that'll help this get shared by more people, or to more people, because it'll get recommended, and then it'll let you be notified every time I have a video up. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.